It actually hit me in the back because it was actually the actual pressure change. Our ears were popping, and when the door hit me, I went to go close it, and it started cavitating almost like a hummingbird wing. And I thought, oh my God, it is here. And when it crossed the road, the suction of the wind from that distance pulled my shirt and was pulling the air out of my lungs. And that's, when we saw it cross, like, oh my gosh, we gotta go. At that point I thought, for as much debris and how loud that thing was, if it comes this way, we're not gonna make it. Now I understood for the first time ever, I get now that speed and the amount of debris in that tornado, you can't, it's gonna scour you. You're done. And I thought, we have no basement, there's no way this is gonna happen. And right when it got inside, I actually bolted the garage doors so the air didn't get in and lift the garage up, and walked in, and Uncle Dwayne and Aunt Jan and the dog were there. I saw we're going in the tub, like, where are we going? There's no basement. I heard about the tubs just being, I thought anything low, obviously, and they can kind of support you, it'd be great. Because no, right here, near it is actually on us now, because the wind from the garage, all the air was being sucked out. And when I closed it, I actually dropped just down on the ground, kept my back on the door, and then put my feet on the front door to keep it from blowing in. And at that point, that's when the rocks started hitting and all the debris started hitting. And again, our ears are popping and the walls are shaking. And I looked up for a second, put my hands underneath the door jamb in front of me, and thought, if I see this roof leave, I'm gonna get sucked straight up. And I've got about probably 3 seconds of being able to hold on before I get pulled out. And some drywall hit my face, and I thought, here it goes. And about 2 seconds later, just a little bit of that speed ebbed, and we knew it was kind of, at least I knew it was over. My aunt was screaming, and it was terrible. But I thought for about 2 seconds, we're gonna go. This is it. And but when that speed like decelerated just a little bit, you could tell it went by us. Then everything like calmed down. We looked out, and that's when the devastation was just everywhere.
I'm Linda. The last couple days we have been piling up. First chainsawing down some trees, piling them up on the edges so that the chippers can come and take them away, and piling them in piles so the bobcats can come and get them and put them over there. And yesterday we took off all the siding off the house for scrap, and today they are taking down this house and piling everything up and moving it in the dumpsters, cleaning it up. I love working with Port Out.
Hi, my name's John Taylor. I live in Horseshoe Court in the Carriage Hills subdivision, and we are rather devastated by a tornado. This used to be a heavily wooded 1 acre lot, and as you can see behind me, it's no longer there. So we had a major cleanup looking at us because of course our insurance company doesn't cover tree removal. The Port Out people came from day one and worked from morning till night every day, and they've helped us immensely, and their help has just been amazing with all the outreach they've made to different community organizations around the state. It's just been wonderful to have such a great group of volunteers here helping us out, and we couldn't have done it without them, because otherwise we would have been looking at tens of thousands of dollars to have companies come to remove everything that we needed to. And it's kind of barren now. It used to not be that way. You could never see the house behind us, but obviously you can now. And but we will prevail.
This is an amazing devastation from a tornado on Dexter Pinckney Road in Dexter, and we were so thrilled to have all the volunteers come and help us, because the mass amount of tree damage, as you can see behind us, and damage to where we're sitting was a 4-car garage that was on the ground, completely on the ground, and they have literally picked everything off and taken it away and worked on all the trees and
everything out to the road and taken it to the dump for us.
And they've been here doing there's a huge amount of brush and tree limbs, all the trees that went all the way around, all the way to the back, and all these huge, big historic trees. They've been up in the trees, cutting them down, the dangerous limbs that were still hanging. We cannot say enough about the generosity and the wonderful people that have been out here helping. And well, I had never heard of this group, Poured Out. I mean, it was amazing the number of people that came out, and without that help, I'm afraid everything would still be sitting the way it was the day the tornado came out. It's kind of hard to tell you, but I think they're just wonderful. And everyone, I guess I'd be one to volunteer in the future, because I've never seen such a wonderful group of people and dedicated to the cause.
We're homeowners here in Dexter, Michigan, Bob and Katie Jaswinski, and another little one. And our 4- and 2-year-old are off with Grandma and Grandma, taking them up to Grand Rapids. And we're standing here right after our house got torn away on the 15th of March. I came in and started grilling, and I saw some hail coming, and I wanted Katie to come out and see how big it was. And she told me to get in the house. And so she'd already had the 2-year-old in the bathtub. And from then it was just kind of, I think it was chaotic. We looked out back, our back window that's not there no more, and saw a bunch of dark clouds that way, and then I thought it was like a windstorm taking place, and so I kind of walked away from it and dismissed it, because that's what everyone does, and they walk away from it and says it's not going to happen here. And Katie stayed there and looked and saw a tree.
I saw like a big pine tree
piece
and
of wood.
a big piece of plywood flying and swirling way, way above our house.
And so she said we need to get into the closet where we decided to go. And I heard a neighbor yelling if everyone was all right, and I told him, yeah, we're all right. And then I think that's when the real storm came. And we went back in there, and before I know it, and we don't know how long it was, but the police or the fire department was already at our window, knocking and telling us, asking if everyone's okay, what's going on. And I told them we were all accounted for. And we still at that time didn't know what had really taken place. We knew our garage was gone because we could see, obviously, when we took the cars out. It was scary.
Kids were naked and
yeah,
crying.
it was scary. You know, when we came back the next morning, it's just we could not even believe it. It was amazing. I mean, it's amazing what it does. And yeah, I think we weren't even back here yet. We weren't even back here, and Poured Out was here already.
Yeah.
They're it's a great organization. I mean, these 3 houses in particular would not be where we're at right now if Poured Out didn't come out here. And it's just, and they're still out cutting, and they're not leaving, and they're not leaving until we're okay.
Thousands of trees were just ripped out of the ground and laid down. All the electric poles, all the electric wires. So that night and the next day, I just kind of wandered around wondering what in the world was how could we manage this? And then on Sunday, this guy walked up the driveway, and his name is Levi. And he said he had a group who wanted to help us, and of course I thought he was nuts. And the next thing I know, there are bobcats running around my yard, and huge trees that need to come down are starting to come down. And a week later, they're still at it, running heavy machinery until dark. And they have probably taken 50 tons of debris down to the road to be picked up, and clear-cut an entire woods that was knocked down by the tornado. I've never seen people work like that. For nothing.
Steve, do you have any questions you want?
No, I'm over here crying.
I knew you would be.
I'm here with Howard and Pat, and we're talking about the aftermath of the tornado. And I just know from our standpoint as a relief agency, we meet a lot of people, and these are 2 amazing people who just dealt with what was given to them. I've watched Howard last weekend cut trees in other people's yards who didn't have any help, and Pat feed and care for all the volunteers here. And to me, it's an honor to work for you guys. It's an honor to serve, and I'm just glad that we could help. That's all I have to say.
Well, thank you, Steve.
Thank you, Steve. Thank everybody here.
Oh my gosh, yes.
It's March 31st in the evening. After 2.5 weeks of cleanup, we're at Marie Keller's home, which we have removed trees. She is dealing with moving everything out of the home for reconstruction. This home has to be rebuilt from the inside out, and today we just want to let Marie tell her story. And she's been a wonderful, incredible homeowner who has fed our teams, has put up with late night work at her home, and every night we served here, she made sure we had food and lodging, and in fact I slept in this front room a week ago. And Marie and her husband Ron have been incredible. They've cared for the community, they've helped us cut trees, and but I think their story is important to be heard.
On Thursday night, March 15th,
Something.
our town was hit by a tornado, an F3 that created massive destruction, especially for a small community. And on the morning of Friday, March 16th, some wild angel landed on our lawn and asked if we needed help. That was after hundreds of people had come up asking if they could help, and they would pay our insurance deductible. But what we found out was tree removal on our property isn't covered by insurance unless it lands on the house. When you have a large yard with massive trees and they don't fall on the house, it's in your pocket. So we were looking at about $35,000, I think, to remove it. And by Saturday night, I was thinking bankruptcy might be in our future. And so you guys, without asking anything but to pay it forward, you just gave us enough trust that we let you go. And what you guys have done is amazing. You've taken care of our neighbors, you've taken care of our community, and you guys have asked for nothing. There aren't words. There are not words. And we've gone through this.
Just hugs.
Just hugs. It's exciting, and it seems like you guys just keep giving and giving and giving, and there's no words of gratitude. There is nothing that I will be able to do, or my family will ever be able to do, to repay what you guys have done for us and for our neighborhood. You're helping keep it together.
Well, you've been encouragement, and Marie and Ron have spurred us on to keep doing this. And for those of you who have donated, these are the families that go to work every day and have to deal with this reality when they come home. And we love you, and hope you know that. We care about you guys.
We know that. Guys, I never would have dreamed I would have lost most of my home. I never would have dreamed I had to move out. I never would have dreamed I had to rebuild. But here we are. It doesn't happen in my town, but it happened to me. And you guys just descended.
You find there with grace in your heart and flowers in your hair. That's why I hold with all I have. That's why I hold